what do we know about Afghanistan, lithium, and rare earth minerals?
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me on. We've known since 2010 about the significant minerals endowment that Afghanistan holds. What's really in it, the value has gone from $1 trillion to $3 trillion in rare earth elements, lithium, some of the critical minerals that really are necessary to power the clean energy future and really control the commanding heights of the new economy. So we've known about this endowment for quite some time. What's really been a headwind against the development of those resources was, one, demand wasn't what it is today. And secondly, the poor governance issues in Afghanistan, the evolving rule of law, all created a headwind against investment. And there are other better places to invest. That's all changing now in the context of this exponential demand increase given the clean energy transition and also the Taliban now in firm control of government in Afghanistan.
Right now, these rare earth minerals, primarily their processing, as we've talked about, is about 85% controlled by China because they saw the future decades ago. They got ahead of us, and they really control that part of its story we've been talking about a lot here on CNBC. Do you think, or do you believe that China will reach out, try to cozy up to the Taliban with its eyes on some of these resources?
Yeah, Brian, I think there's 2 points. There's one, the supply side of the equation, which you're speaking to, but there's also the geopolitical context in which China wants to engage with Afghanistan. China, as well as Russia, have already made diplomatic overtures to the Taliban. So we already know that's in train. What China's most focused on is, as you noted, continuing their dominance in rare earth elements, processing, refining. But they're also interested principally in stability, political stability, and regional stability, and also to secure their considerable Belt and Road investments they've already made in Pakistan. What is increasingly concerning aren't just the diplomatic overtures, but also this increasing rapprochement with the Taliban, where the Taliban has actually said that Chinese repression, the Chinese Communist Party's repression of its Muslim population is an internal China matter. And also that they welcomed Chinese investment in helping the development of Afghanistan. So China is already starting the machinations of Belt and Road expansion into Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And the mineral wealth allows for investment justification.
And the one thing that China has done in the past is they have gone into impoverished nations, primarily like the Congo, and they have said, hey, let us in. We're going to give you a bunch of money. We're going to extract these minerals. You'll get a big cut. And then we're going to ship the minerals back to China for processing. Afghanistan, obviously, right now with the Taliban, who knows what their leadership wants to do or will do and whether or not there's any infrastructure to do it. But China could provide the funding for that. Do you think we will see China, and to your point, Russia, come in with cash for the country and say, let us in, we'll take the minerals, you'll get a cut, but we'll do all the work?
Absolutely. I think China is laying literally the groundwork to develop those roads and those export avenues back to China. Again, geopolitically, one is the market context. China makes decisions not based on quarterly statements and annual returns. They make decisions for the very long term and through a geopolitical lens. They don't answer to shareholders like your viewers, many of your viewers do. They're responsive to what the party dictates. And so they're looking at things not just through that commercial lens, but through the geopolitical. I think they're already starting to lay that groundwork for just this kind of investment. And I can envisage here a Taliban protectorate, security zones for Chinese mining camps in country. What I think is really important here, the answer that, as you mentioned, we're playing catch up to China in this question. What I think we have to do as the West and free nations everywhere, we need to band together to say countries that will not accept minerals for the clean energy transition or for anything based on repressive regimes. We did this before. We expanded our economic security of free nations together in the context of apartheid South Africa, where the world said we are not going to accept doing business with a regime that represses its population. This takeover of Afghanistan by the Taliban is a clarion call to step up that same kind of leadership in the world. And we cannot accept these minerals to be exploited by a country that represses half its population.